Welcome back to the channel, Bridging the Gap, Student to Engineer, where STEM professionals provide advice to students. This video is a school deep dive into Kettering University. Received several requests for this video, so we're finally getting time to do it and diving into the university itself. Before we do, just a little history. Kettering University is a private school in Michigan. It used to be owned by the General Motors Company as an internal university providing engineering and other resources for the university. But it has been independent since the 80s and has a strong engineering program in Flint, Michigan. So I went through everything that the university provides and could not find student outcome data. There was a little bit of information just saying that it is strong, but I don't have details. But what I will do is just go through what is on the university's websites and just give you some context into that. And I will also be reaching out to the university to see if I can get more details. And if I am able to, then we'll update this video. So we're here on the Kettering University webpage. What I wanted to do is just start on the College of Engineering and Computer Science page and go through what they share on here. And then we'll go through a few other things that the school shares. So there's a lot of general information about engineering and what you can do as an engineer. They also have some explanation of each of the majors that they provide. Something they do have that is a little bit interesting and unique is they have a Bachelor of Science in Semiconductor Materials and Devices. That's not something you'll find in very many places. And then they have a BS in General Engineering, and this is really for multidisciplinary, and you may see it other places as like a design your own major engineering. I did not see on the ABET accreditation page that Kettering is accredited under general engineering, but they do have accreditation under all of these other majors. So if you're interested in either the general engineering or the semiconductor materials and devices, ask about ABET accreditation. Just make sure you're comfortable with what you are hearing from them. What is interesting to me and what I want to point out is what Kettering does that is unique and what might make this school a little bit more interesting for you if you're looking around for schools. So they have a big co-op program. The history of the school is one that was heavy into co-ops. If you think about a school that is owned by a company and they want their graduates to be not just educated, but having the experience at their company, that translates directly into where they are today, which is all of their engineering graduates are required to do co-ops. They do say elsewhere on their site that it's 2.5 years of work experience by the time you graduate. So basically, what you're doing is you're going to school for a while and then working full time for a while and going to school and then working. Personally, I did this while I was at a different school. And one thing I really liked about it was that you are not just go with school, because the pace of work and school are very different. And you're having to focus on school for a shorter period of time. In the same way, you are making money while you are working full-time in a co-op. And so if you are paying your way through school, you are making money while you're working, and then you go back and pay for one semester at a time and then make more money and then pay for school. And so it can be really helpful if you're struggling to figure out how to pay for school. Definitely consider that if you are looking seriously at Kettering, or if you haven't looked at them before and there's something that maybe you should put on your list if you're listening to this video. Another thing they have is competition teams. While a lot of schools have this, Kettering seems to be leaning into it more than other schools. They were the first school to have a lab for robotics competitions, and they really are into making sure that students get that experience and that they are helping high school students come into that. So if you were on a high school robotics team, or you want to get into a race car team or some other team where you are competing, Kettering can be a really good place for that. If you think about competitions, and if you were in a high school competition that went somewhere high in the competitions, you know that having success in competition not only feels great and gives you really good teamwork experience, but also can give you exposure to companies and schools that are looking at that. So those are two really big advantages of Kettering. Definitely something that I suggest that you put on your list if you were looking at any of the engineering areas that they offer, or if that what you want to do in the future fits within the areas that they offer. So we talked about the Kettering co-op program. They do have a website where they show the co-op partners in the last 5 years. There is quite a number of companies here. I think they say they have 550 co-op partners, and you can see on this website um, that there's lots of different categories. And if you just look through the ones that are here, there are large companies and small companies, which is really nice to get the variety. Quite often when you're talking about internships, it is mostly large companies that are offering that, but it looks like Kettering has partnered with small and large businesses to give their students an opportunity to get experience. I will provide the link here so that you can click through here and see more than just what I'm displaying right here, but it does look like they have really good relationships with companies and can offer those co-op positions. So I really like the idea of co-ops. It gives you a much more stable and certain opportunity to work while you're in school. The caution that I have is when schools are expecting the students to find their own, or they don't have enough partner companies to offer those co-op programs. And so if you are looking at Kettering, just ask a lot of questions. From what I can tell, it looks like it's a very healthy program and they shouldn't have problems placing their co-ops or their students into co-ops, but definitely ask if you are interested in the school. Also, we have another video that I will provide a link to if you look at the upper right of the screen, that talks about co-ops versus internships and gives you a better understanding of which each of those are and why you might want to do one over the other. So another website that Kettering has is Points of Pride, and this is kind of where they brag about some things, which is really nice that schools can brag about things. One of the things that they're talking about here is, here you go, 2.5 years of experience that you get as a co-op by the time you graduate. Now, you might be saying, how do I get 2.5 years of experience in a 4-year degree? These programs are structured so that it's 5 years and you're working half the time and in school half the time. So you're getting 2.5 years of experience in 5 years. So you don't graduate in 4. I know that that is a concern for some people, but if you think about the reasons why that is a concern, usually it's because it costs more money. But in this case, you're in school and paying for school less time. But also, if you graduate a year later, but you have 2.5 years of experience, that can jumpstart your career. And when you talk about having the right number of years of experience to get to the next level in a company, you're actually better and farther ahead if you do that 2.5 years and then graduate in 5. And a lot of schools will have engineering students take 5 years simply because they can't get the classes they need, or because there are more classes required than what you can reasonably fit in 4 years. And so the fact that Kettering is designed to have you in school for 5 years but get to 2.5 years of experience is nice. Okay, so they do talk about the median starting salary of Kettering graduates, $75,000. This is good. This is in alignment with what we see at other engineering schools. So Don't expect that with your 2.5 years of experience, you're going to go in and be making $20,000 more than everyone else. You'll be right on par, but this is a healthy number, and it does indicate that that students are getting jobs in their chosen careers, and they're having a good start to their career. If we keep going down, they talk about various awards that they have, and you'll see Vex Robotics, SAE, Clean Snowmobile Team, those types of things. When we talked earlier about them having a lot of competitions, they're definitely into that. So you can see that not only are they interested in it, but they're seeing results. And then what I want to do is just come down here to, we stand by our accomplishments, because we talk on this channel a lot about outcomes for graduates. So I would like to see here positive outcome rates, but I'm not seeing any of it. But I will just show you what they have so you can see that they're showing some information. The median starting salary, which we already talked about. Rate of return, we don't talk a lot about financial aspects of schools and the cost and your return, but it is nice to see that they have that. And if you are interested in rate of return for not just Kettering, but other schools, you can go to College Factual. I will provide the link here. And then it's also nice to see that about a quarter of their graduates fully pay off any federal student loan debt within 2 years. So that is something that is not uncommon for engineering graduates, because the graduates are making such good pay when they graduate. And so if you are able to live well within your means when you first graduate, I know some people say continue to live like a college student as long as you can. If you're able to do that, then you can pay off your student loan debt pretty quickly. So overall, even though Kettering doesn't have a lot of information as far as the data that we typically look for on this channel, I would say it's a great option for anyone who's considering engineering, especially those who are particularly interested in getting experience while they are in school, and or would like to continue their involvement in competitions that were in high school, or want to get involved in a competition that you weren't in high school. That's all we have for Kettering University. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and we will see you on the next one.